صل عليه النبي المجتبى النبي المجتبى الممجد الرفيع الممجد الرفيع اللهم صل عليه صاحب التج واللواء رحمة للخلق شفيع رحمة للخلق شفيع أرسلوا رب السماء أرسلوا رب السماء الحبيب اللي نشتيه الحبيب اللي نشتيه Hallo.
So welcome to Tamburi Mundi Frame Drum Channel with Ahmed Abdel Ali.
Philipp Koske. Okay, wir machen heute eine Probe. Wir machen eine English. We are preparing Algerian song. It's 6/8, oder?
It's in 6/8 or 12. Yeah.
So it's very it's very spontaneous. I forgot completely about this appointment, so I got a call from Uli, and they said, "Where are you?" And so I am here. So it's, so we are making kind of rehearsal about Algerian rhythms and some songs from North Africa. This my Philipp Koske is my technical advisor on always concerning rhythms and academic things. He can interview. I can tell you a story about the weddings, about more telling you about what's happening during these songs, what there's rhythms like rituals or So North African rhythms are North African, and North African is like mixed between different cultures. We have the culture from Arab cultures and Amazigh cultures, and we have the African, of course, African influence on this on our music. We grow up learning music by dancing. First, we dance, and then if you are lucky and if you can got darabuka, you can make 6/8. So in weddings, baptize, oder kennst du das? Baptism? Beschneidung, wie sagen, heißt das? Circumcision, circumcision, voilà. This is a very important event for families there and children. And 6/8 ist immer dort zum Tanzen, bewegen. Das ist der Körper, alle bewegt. All move. It's the So yes, in the stadiums also we use it. The 6/8 is immer every time. Sorry, I'm mixing the languages. Yeah. So, Philip, can you
Yes.
tell me, explain to me explain to me the 6/8, how we write it? Can we write the 6/8, the Algerian 6/8, for example?
Well, yes and no. And
No.
I think, first of all, I think it's really very, very interesting rhythm. It's also really the one that we started with. You could write it in Western notation, but you would really not catch the whole thing if you did that, because what's very, very common, especially in North African rhythms, is that there is kind of a micro timing going on. Let's say, okay, so you're this 6/8 rhythm is or what do we do? Okay, and so maybe you notice already there's something going on. It's maybe I give demonstration. It's not like this. But instead it sounds like this. So you see Ahmed grooving like this. Okay, so probably I'm doing it not totally wrong. It's okay. So there's something going on, and
Fair enough.
I think you can. Like in Europe, we're used to using like metronomes to be sure everything's in time. So for example, in Western metronome, you could go like this. And in North Africa, what's going on is kind of that the metronome is making a funny rhythm. So the metronome is going not but it's going. Okay, so in general, how if you want to learn this, the only real way to do it is to actually
Come to Freiburg.
move to Freiburg, no, or move to North Africa and study this music and listen to it a lot. So you kind of you kind of know how it has to sound. So, but there is kind of like for this rhythm in particular, it's very similar to the feeling that you have when you put 4 versus 3. So I can do that for you. If you do 4 versus 3, you get this. Right? So my right hand is doing 4, and at the same time my left hand is doing 3. If I take this and apply it to this rhythm, I get this. Okay, that's not it. Again, it's not how it has to feel, right? I know. But it's kind of, if you take this and you play it a bit softer. So it's kind of somewhere in between 3 versus 4 and straight. So you have to look for yourself and maybe, yeah. What do you think?
I think, it's also if you come to North Africa, for example, and you hear different regions from the 6/8 how they play it from the Shabi music. Shabi is music in Alger is say the fisherman's music. It's inspired from Arabo-Andalusian music, and the 6/8 how they play there is what we played is one Shabi, Algerian Shabi, because there is difference between Moroccan Shabi music and Algerian Shabi. It's the same name, but there's different kind of music. So the Algerian Shabi, the 6/8 is playing in a way. It's kind of a swing, or I don't know how they approach the accent. And then if you go deep to the desert, in my region, I'm from the north of the desert, it's kind of you played it somehow.
That's a very strong swing.
Yes. And if you go more to the Tuareg south, the Tuareg, we have borders. Algeria have borders with Mali and Niger and Chad, of course. There is a Tuareg. They have also this stronger. This is so it's the same somehow.
So that they do it even more.
Yeah.
Okay.
And very slow and we can. This is also used. It's a kind of taking some accents in the 6/8. We have a and it's a kind of family of rhythms, huh? It's crazy.
Yeah.
The first thing I think is with the music, I like to, when I hear something like rhythms, I like to dance on it, move my body with it as I'm talking about my experience with the music. So I try to understand it with my body and then try to play it or sing it this is my, if you want to try it and do it, it's your body. You are welcome to do whatever you want.
There's maybe one or two more things to say to this basic rhythm that we started with, this like this one. I feel really as a Western musician, I like when I first heard this rhythm, I misunderstood it. I thought it was really, I heard it as a 3.
I remember.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's like one of the common mistakes. So because if you have if you have 6/8 rhythm, so you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's like 2 basic ways to group that. You could group it as 2 groups of 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 2. So this is for me, like especially with this rhythm, because you have an accent on 1, on 3, and on 5. It's very tempting to think that it's in groups of 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is one of the things that you have to understand. That is really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's just one thing I wanted to clarify, because I'm a professional percussionist and I didn't get it in the beginning. And I think that's also part of what makes these rhythms so interesting, and what kind of is responsible for this polyphonic feeling, this polyrhythmic feeling.
Yes.
One of the things that add to that.
Can we try again to make we just run it through? pa 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 pakadita. It's my language. Something like that. Yeah. I'll try it again.
Yeah, maybe let's try maybe a bit slower.
Slower, yes.
Maybe again.
Yeah. Voilà. Cool. What can I say about Sechs Achter or about Algerian music? How much we have time?
We have 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe I can write down this rhythm.
Please.
Da, 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 da. Or we can practice it together.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Right?
Super.
Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Right, and this is used as a cue. So this is kind of the signal. Now is the end of the piece, and simply everybody knows this signal because they grew up in the tradition.
Exactly.
So everybody knows when to stop.
Do you have Karkabu here? Karkabu? Somewhere, yeah. Yeah, Murat, he said, so loud for the mics. I understand, yes, they are
Well, we
very
can do
loud.
the clapping maybe,
yeah.
because I think you have a lot of times.
I can make
this,
with the mouth.
Oh, with your mouth, yeah? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, it's the same. It needs two. Four hands.
It's just the swing, right? Yeah.
It's the same, but it's next time in Tamburi Mundi you have to come to the festival, and then there we will play Karkabu for you. Yes, other things, it's sometimes I make workshops in the Frame Drum Academy in the how you call it, this school?
Yes, but that's just the place.
Yes,
but the Frame Drum Academy, you probably all know. If you don't know, check it out on the Tamburi Mundi website. It's like a 4-year school for being a frame drummer. And there I'm really happy to I'm thankful to be a guest time to time there for workshops for the North African music. Or I think Murat likes the way how I do it. I'm very happy that because I'm not using like academic teaching, or I never studied the music, so I'm more with the body, with sound, with the singing, and I think it's very interesting approach how Murat is doing for like this approach for the teaching process for music. And I'm really the second time my experience. Every time I'm happy, coming overwhelmed, happy, good overwhelmed, because it was so beautiful singing and playing with the other musicians that they know more other things. They can teach me a lot of things, and I'm very happy to share with them and have this exchange. So yeah, you are welcome to join. And yeah, you like it, or you like to play with me? You like to play? I love to play with you,
Habibi. So now I would like to change completely another song just for fun, as we are really practicing it, so you can practice with us if you want. So it is another repertoire. It's from Sufi music from Isawa. Isawa is mostly in Tunisia. There is in Algeria and Libya also. Okay. This is the first one, and for the chorus, and for the verse.
One.
Okay. It's
so the first rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, perfect. Yes. Okay, and the second rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.
Correct, and it's eight cycles.
Oh, okay, yeah. So 8 cycles.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
يا شادلي هايا بالحسن، يا شادلي يا بابا علي حملك عدني هايا بالحسن، يا شادلي يا بالحسن يا بالحسن يا شادلي يا علي يا شادلي يا بالحسن يا شادلي يا بالحسن. ساكن المغارة وتجيك بيع الدكارة يا سيدي الفم مرارة، وانا حملي كادنيها يا بالحسن يا شادلي يا بالحسن يا شادلي يا بالحسن يا شادلي يا بابا علي حملي كادنيها يا بالحسن. يا شادلي يا بالحسن يا بابا علي يا بالحسن يا شادلي يا بابا علي حملي كادنيها يا الحسن. ساكن المغارة وتجيك يجمع الذكارة يا سيدي الفم مرارة، وانا حملي كادنيها يا بالحسن يا شادلي يا بالحسن يا شادلي يا بالحسن يا شادلي يا بابا علي حمل كادنيها يا بالحسن. مرة سفلية ويجوها من كل ثنية يا سيدي أهل الصوفية، وانا حملي كادنيها يا بالحسن يا شادلي حي يا شادلي يا شادلي يا بالحسن يا شادلي يا بالحسن، وانا حمري كادنيها يا بالحسن. مانيش راضي لو يلفوني بالفق واضي يا سيدي لشيخي ماضي، وانا حمري كادنيها يا بالحسن يا شادلي يا بالحسن يا شادلي هو. I'm practicing this song. I discovered 3 days ago. Yeah. So
What is it about?
this is kind of music songs. They are played in a ceremony called Hadra. Hadra in Arabic, it means the presence. Presence. We mean presence here by presence of saints, Heiligen. Yes, saints.
Mm-hmm.
Saint. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
so it's a
saints.
ritual to call up
Call
the
up,
saints
yes.
to call them into your
Yes.
circle.
Exactly,
Uh-huh,
to this
right.
fest, to this party, and there is food cooked. Yeah, there is food. There is fire for the bandirs, of course, to warm them every time they go down. Families comes from everywhere. They're like kind of a pilgrim. They come to this music Hadra. It's very special for Sufi music in North Africa. We can find also in Turkey.
Okay, so this is kind of a rare event where people come, like pilgrims come
Yes.
and gather and
There is
so
different thing. There is
like they gather in a special time in the year or for a
yes.
certain.
There is some seasons for a special hadra for certain saint or certain group, Sufi group.
Okay.
And then you can call hadra. You can invite musicians or to make hadra wherever you want. You have a wedding or baptism or your son has this Führerschein, driving license.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can make a fest.
Okay, and then
you make hadra.
I see.
Yes. And it is.
And you do it in your region as well?
Yes. In my region, there is different groups, Sufi groups, or yes, and there is hadra. We call it hadra. Also, the Gnawa music is kind of hadra. I remember there were the Gnawa walking on the street with a big toro. Stier. Yes, big with the. And it was a bull.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
big
you,
bull, and it was sacrificed and shared with people, with visitors, and for free. You come, eat, dance, sleep, and have like it's a Reinigung for when it's an opportunity for people to dance, women, old, young, to dance and let things go, reinigen from inside
to clean.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very interesting. Mm-hmm.
There was one question somebody asked about the drum maker.
This Darabuka.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, maybe it's written inside. I don't know. Maybe you can look. No, it's inside.
It's inside here.
Maybe.
Sylvan Temple. Maybe we can hold it in the camera. Hopefully it's.
Light.
Okay.
Boom.
Hopefully the lighting is good enough so that you guys could see that.
Thank you.
Okay, you did not ask us what what we said, but you sang about the Darabuka. Okay, I'm very pissed now.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I think it's time, huh? Or?
Yeah, we have time, 5 minutes for talk maybe.
Yeah.
We can invite Murat for the interview, right? Okay. So we can.
Yeah.
I can sit on the bed. Yeah,
I can.
fine.
So we have space enough. Nice.
Yes.
So hi, hello, and nice to have you here. And because we live in Freiburg, so for all of you, Freiburg is a beautiful city with many frame drummers, beautiful musicians, and so we are working since many years. And you are especially have a duo project, and in the duo project you invite also people. So maybe you can talk a little bit about your projects.
It's kind of it's more a friendship than a project, really. It's we made it to be a project. It just that's just what it became with time, because actually it's Tamburi Mundi's fault that Ahmed stranded in Freiburg. You were on your Hajj, right?
Yes.
Traveling through
with my bicycle.
Through Europe, and the first time you were by chance you were in Freiburg, and it was Tamburi Mundi, and you just met all the people and connected, and then half a year later you decided to
live here,
to live in Freiburg. And since then we've had a close friendship, and since then we've been making music together, and like in the past years it has grown more, because simply people were asking, can you make music? And then we started. Like, I think Barbara's birthday was the first thing that really got us together. Thank you, Barbara, if you're watching.
Yes.
And then so it's kind of a loose, open thing. So we invite, for example, Karin Fleck. We take often just kind of the musicians that are around.
Yes.
We just grab them and say, we need one more. Can you come and play with us? Join us. We need harmony, accordion.
Jamal, Banora, Jamal.
Yes. So and now. So the next big thing is with Freiburger Baroque Orchestra.
Yes.
In July, I think it's the 23rd of July, right?
In
Hans Bunte Areal, a big place in Freiburg. So
at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, and I have no idea what's happening there.
Yes,
so I'm very
I'm curious.
Curious, yes.
So you are preparing the project?
Yes.
Right?
Not yet, because we don't know what's going to happen.
Okay. Wow, nice. So for everyone who is living in Freiburg, I think that will be a very interesting project.
Yeah.
And you also teach, right? You said.
They asked me, but I just want Murat asked me to teach. I will go to make workshop, but in general, I will tell people I'm not good in teaching. But it's
yes, you are.
I am. Okay,
yes.
It's good. It's very good to have friends like that to motivate you. So now I feel motivated. Yes, I teach.
So maybe a question. We have not so much time, maybe, but a less question, because teaching is also learning.
Yeah.
And we can learn from all of us.
Exactly.
So one question, what did you learn from Philip? I mean, not only, I learned this, just in general. And what did you learn from Ahmad?
Oh, that's a beautiful question. I think the one thing the best thing maybe you can learn from Ahmed is to not take life so heavy and serious, and just enjoy it. It's I'm always having a good time when I spend time with you. It's always lovely time. And you
know what I like about you? like TV reality thing. I like when sometimes I have ideas in my brain coming, Philip, come, look, you see me like that, but A, B, C, say, okay, yeah, you are right, okay. So I learned how to cool down. Things that with Philip, it's good to
get some structure in your many creative ideas.
Structure, inspiration, because I come with a lot, and then at the end I don't know which will take for different reasons, whatever. And Philip is like kind of sometimes not. Sometimes if I have an idea, I push it, and Philip see that it's very important for me, and we go for it and we try. But sometimes it's really from the beginning A, B, C, and I say, okay, it's cooling me down, and then inspiring again. And I like the way how it's very, very dynamic. No problem. Music is to be together and have a nice time.
I think we're a very, very good team. Like you're you're strong where I'm weak, and I'm weak where I'm strong where you're weak. Okay, so very complicated stuff today, but so it's very good fusion.
Nice. Yeah, so I think it's a good, how do you say, synthesis. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, we could talk much longer, especially about topics like this, because you come from different, not only cultures, but also your musical roots are different than yours. You're more classical, you're from tradition influence, or from Sufi music. And so we, as I said, we could talk longer. Maybe we can meet another time, have a talk about these different topics, but on the other side, how you can come together and, as I said, support each other. And I think that's a good fusion. Yes.
Yeah,
So Philip, Ahmad, thank you very much. And we say applause.
Thanks to the technique. There is a big group working here.
Yeah, thank you, Uli and Malika, in the background.
And who is coming now? There is another musician coming.
So we will have a break of 2-3 minutes, and we will invite Miranda Rondeau from California. Yes, so we will have an online meeting now. It's
Very
nice
good.
to have you live here, but unfortunately it's not possible to invite Miranda here. But we will see her in a few minutes and talk about her work, because she's doing many years, since many years, a lot of different things in field of frame drumming, and she's a very interesting and important person, I think, especially when we talk about frame drum. So she will be our next guest. Okay,
Super.
thank you again, and we see.
Yeah, ciao.
Okay, super.
Sehr spontan. Wow, that's cool. But cool.
Okay.
Energy, very nice energy. Yeah.
Sehr schön.
Yeah.
Cool.
Malika. Malika.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Miranda.
Hi,
Hello.
Murat. So good to see you.
Yes, yes. Nice to see you also. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. And you seem to be doing very well as well.
Well, yes, yes, yes. I'm always happy when I have friends here and when I see you also. It's a long time ago that we met, right?
Yeah, 2009 or 2010,
Wow,
something.
wow.
Or maybe a little bit sooner because we met at no, we met at the North American Frame Drum Festival.
Exactly, NAFTA. Right, right, right. Yeah, yeah. Was a very nice festival also, NAFTA. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And you are at home at the moment, or where are
Yeah,
you?
I'm at home in California. Yeah, Southern
Nice.
California.
Great, great. Yes, and we are really happy that you could find time to join our channel and that we can talk a little bit about your work and because everyone who plays frame drums probably knows you from different situations or different moments. At least you are very, very active, and so how can we start? Where can we start?
Well, first, I just want to say thank you for inviting me, and thank you for the work you've been doing for this many, many years, providing a place for frame drum lovers to come and learn. What a beautiful resource to be able to come and have available to come to a festival in Germany. And now online, everyone has more access. And so, for all those that feel called to do the frame drum, you're providing such a beautiful access to so many, frame drumming, and it's a beautiful offering. So thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, we are a big team here, and the growing and the networking. It's really important also to develop new things or to understand other things maybe, and to also to develop the personality also musical approaches. So maybe we can talk about your musical personality or how you I think that's always interesting how you found this instrument or how you started or what was your way to go or to discover frame drums or whatever.
Sure, I'd love to share. I mean, I started off with finding I love dancing, so I heard a drum circle and went to go dance, and it was amazing. And then I worked at a bookstore back then, it was 1992 or something. And then I opened up a box that said Drumming at the Edge of Magic by Mickey Hart. He's the drummer from the Grateful Dead. And I go, oh, I'm supposed to read this because I just was where the Grateful Dead was. And so I read the book, and I never thought about drumming because my mind thinks drumming was for the guys, you know. But when I read the book, there's a couple of things that stood out. He said there's two sides to drumming. There's the technical side and the spiritual side. So just because he said that, that kind of made me gave me permission to drum because there's no male or female if there's a spiritual side to the drumming. So my sister had congas in the room or in the garage that never got played. So I just started exploring because I go, I don't have to know how to play. I'm just gonna explore. And so every day for hours I was playing, and then the next thing you know, I'm like, oh, there's low tones, there's high tones, there's muffled sounds, and I've had some musical background already, so I naturally was finding different rhythms, and then I was like, wow, this is really great. And then my friend invited me.
What was your age? I mean, were you
Oh,
a
I was in my
child?
20s. No, I was in my 20s, maybe 22, 23.
Yeah. Mhm.
So that got me into the drumming aspect. And then I found these people to do drum circles. That was amazing. This special group of people. We were like a flock of birds and a school of fish when we drummed. And then I started buying all kinds of drums, and then eventually I bought a frame drum, but I didn't know what to do with it yet, and until this woman came to Long Beach and did a presentation, a slideshow called "When the Drummers Were Women," and it was at my friend's coffee shop, and he had a book open by Mickey Hart, the same person that wrote the other book, but this one was called Planet Drum, and they had a picture of Lane Redmond playing the frame drum, and I hadn't seen any women play, and I was like, oh, I have to be there. I need to see this woman, and so I went to go see her, and she did a slideshow. It was showing all these images of the ancient women frame drummers, carvings on caves and temple walls and figurines and so forth. And she collected thousands of them. And when she was sharing this, I just had like the experience of coming home, or like a remembrance that if I would have lived back in those days, I would have been one of the drummers. And I was like, I need to study this instrument. She's going to be my teacher. And I took her workshop that weekend, and jumped lots of hoops to get there. But you know, when you find your calling, things line up and they work for you, and then you're on this magical journey. So I feel like I've been on this magical journey, and things unfold so that I could participate in things. Because originally the workshop was closed, and I had to work the whole weekend, and I didn't have a drum, but I couldn't find a drum because I had to work, but I found it on my lunch break, you know, so like it worked out. And so she's been my main teacher and muse, and she's the one that wrote When the Drummers Were Women. And so I never stopped drumming since then.
Yeah, and today you don't think drum is not for women, right?
Yeah, no, it's for everybody, and especially to be a voice, to normalize that it's a normal thing for the women to drum, because a lot of women believe that it's only for the guys also. I don't know where we got these ideas, but Lane Redmond always talked about the importance of visibility, to be visible, to play, because if someone else sees you, then they get planted a seed of inspiration, or maybe they have that remembrance. Oh, I think I want to try this. For some reason, I feel called to drum, after seeing another woman play, and so that's been a very important part for me, to also support that visibility.
Yeah.
Throughout the women.
Yeah. Maybe we can watch a little bit your music that you recorded. We prepared a YouTube video that we can share together. Also, we will put the link of the video in the chat, so you can watch it again if you want, or you can copy the link. And so this is your recording from the Dragonfly.
Yeah.
This is a composition that you
Yes.
made, right? So what is the topic, or how did you develop this piece? Can you describe a little bit the idea?
Sure. Well, it's got many parts. So initially back, I mean, this is 20 years ago or something. I think I actually created the song before it was recorded. I just wanted at the time to put something odd time, because I know that different rhythms affected our consciousness differently. And here in the West, we only listen to mostly, 4/4. And I thought, well, odd time would represent for me some kind of transformation. So let's have our brains, process other rhythms. So I wanted to put a rhythm of odd time rhythm. So I put it's divided by 4/4/5/4, like the main part. So it's a 17 beat. And so I created that and put a melody on it. And then as I was developing it, it changed to other time signatures in there too. So it has different time signature changes in the song. And one day while practicing, a dragonfly was flying around, in the garden while we were playing, and it was flying in the kind of like the same kind of rhythm. And it wouldn't go away, so I go, oh, the song is called Dragonfly. And then I look at what dragonfly represents, and it represents transformation. Because I used to be a water creature, and then it comes out of the water and becomes a dragonfly. And so that's like about transformation. And then once I recorded it, and for the video, I told everyone, well, this is what the drum represents to me, the Mother Earth, the elementals, the cosmos, and I wanted to represent my honoring and devotion to the frame drum, and also the honoring of the women frame drummers past, present, and future. So then now has a new meaning with the video added. And so that's a little bit about that.
Cool. Yeah. So let's see. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow. Very, very energetic music. You said you were 20 when, or
In the
more or
20s.
less when you discovered drumming for yourself. So in these times, in these years, I think you make your new discoverings, maybe new developments, and you discovered new ways maybe for yourself. You realized new ideas. You had new visions. So, can you let us know how was your path from this first, let me say, or maybe it can start earlier until now? How you change your ideas or what happened in your path?
What happened? Let's see. Um, well, when I started playing, I just for personal use and for offerings, um, for community. So I would offer music for everything from weddings, birthdays, baby blessings, um, memorials, funerals, as well as like celebrating the cycles of the moon and the sun and things like that. Um, and then I wanted other people to also join me, like in a group. So I started teaching circle songs. So before I was just teaching how to play, and I would weave in a little bit voice, but not any songs. And then one I did 2 years where all these songs were coming chants. I call them circle songs. So there's songs to in honor and giving thanks to the earth or to the water, to the sun, and to the moon. And we would incorporate the stepping, walking, and the singing. And and I would do these sessions where they're like 6 weeks long, and at the end we do like a recital so that the students will really study and practice, and then we'd have these nice little house recitals, and then for anybody that felt brave enough, they can come join me and perform in also in a public setting. So that was like a lot of fun. And when that happened, then more people wanted to learn to drum because they saw all their friends drumming. And though for a long time, only the ones that are really felt called would come to, learn with me. But the moment they saw their friends, then they're like, well, if they can do it, I could do it. And so all of a sudden I have more students and created a nice, beautiful community of people. And then what else? I also love to incorporate the voice. So now that everything's online, I've done now a series where we drum and we incorporate the voice more, also without words, so more vocalizing. So all the songs that I create that doesn't have English, they're vocalizing in the moment. So there's a spontaneity where you're not thinking and you just let it flow. So that's also something that I do is I open up for a lot of events and circles where I just offer a song in the moment, spontaneous. And so I wanted to give also the students a little bit experience of opportunity to do that as well. So I created something called weaving rhythm and vocal exploration, so that
And
people can have.
and the dragonfly also, your language was like a fantasy language, right?
Yeah, I just created that from the intention of that. I wanted to have the intention of the transformation, and so I always try to have some kind of intention, so it has a mark to go to. And yeah, and I had to usually I can sing thousands of songs for the first time and I will never remember them because it's just for the moment. But this one, for some reason, it kept, coming, the melody, it was very strong, but I had to learn my song to sing it again because my friend wanted to sing with me. I go, I don't know. We have to record it first and then we'll learn it. So it was really interesting to hear another person is singing with me because no one's ever sang with me because they don't know what I'm going to sing.
So the lyrics are written now, and people can send you a mail or Facebook and ask you about the lyrics, and they can learn it. And is it possible, for example?
Yeah, I did teach it was it last year? Yeah, last year for the first time. And I had never written it down. Everything is body memory what I played, and I thought I would never teach it because I have doing strokes that I don't know how to do the notation for. So it took me a long time to write it down, but I did. I taught a series that would took 9 weeks crash, but that was a crash course to learn the song. So I do have a group of people that were brave enough to come try to learn the song. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And these lyrics, I mean, how you started? I mean, how the idea
Oh
came
yeah.
to start with.
Anyone can do it. Well, how it happened was, I was telling you earlier, I was in the drum circle drumming. And so um, in the drum circle, everything becomes a drum, the floor, the pots, the pans, our bodies. And as we were doing this over the years, the spontaneity, all of a sudden, I don't know why, but the singing started coming out. And I was like, oh, and it's like I'm listening to for the first time too. I'm like, where's it gonna go? But it feels so at home. It just naturally was coming out. And I thought it was maybe a little bit strange for a little while because I never heard anyone do it before, and this is a long time ago. But I'm like, wow, I feel so at home doing this. Until one day at my friend's coffee shop, they were playing some music, and it was Lisa Gerard from Dead Can Dance.
That
Do
can
you know
dance.
that one?
Yes, yes,
And so
yes.
I heard the music. I go, I'm not strange. I think that's what she is doing too. And then after that, then I started sharing. I was already performing on the drum, but I'm not singing. And then I'm like, started singing and performing with this type of singing um, after that. But before I didn't. I was hiding until I heard Lisa Gerard. And then the magical thing happened. I got to open up for her. A Dead Can Dance a few times over the years with David Cookerman.
Yes, yes, for sure, sure. And another topic is the spirituality, because I think this is an important part in your, or one of the important parts in your music and frame drumming. So at least it seems like. And maybe you can talk about the meaning of spirituality for you and connected with frame drum, or how what is your personal approach?
Oh, sure. My work is inspired by my, late teacher and muse Lane Redman, who wrote the book When the Drummers Were Women. And when she collected those thousands of images of women, she discovered many of them were goddesses or priestesses in service to the goddess in the Mediterranean area. And they were earth honoring, honoring the cycles of life. They honored the woman as a sacred vessel of life to come through. So I am, was inspired by all of these words because I don't know why, but I thought I was cursed to be a woman. I know it sounds strange, but I thought of that. But when I met Lane and they talk about the woman's body as a sacred vessel for life to come through, and that the earth is also like the mother who provides all of our food straight from her body, then there's this connection that all of life is sacred. So I use the drum as my tool of remembrance to remember that all of life is sacred, and using the drum and the songs to be in remembrance of that. So when I'm wanting to, Lane would talk about that the human race is kind of like out of sync with nature, and that we need to get back to nature and learn from nature the rhythm and harmony of life. And so I'm dedicated to deepening my relationship to nature and to the sun and the moon, and have this deep gratitude. And I do that through the drum. So when I hold the drum, when I play, I not only hold the drum, I hold all that it represents for me. So Lane would talk about the first sound we ever hear is the sound of our mother's blood pulsing through her arteries while we were fetuses in the womb, which and to that pulse we all formed as human beings, and that's the place of our first home is the womb, and from there our bodies are built and nourished inside the womb. So when we hear the drum, it's like that echo of that first sound of that ongoing, pulse because we entrained with our mother, and so when we hear the drum, we naturally are trained and trained to any rhythm. So the drums kind of acts as this kind of the same way of like being entrained to it. And then as a circle represents oneness, wholeness, unity, community, the sun, the moon, and the cosmos. And so when I'm holding it, I'm giving voice. Nobody knows. I don't say it out loud, but for me, I'm like, I'm giving voice to all that the drum represents when I hold it. So knowing what I'm holding is also a frequency. Our thoughts create vibrations. And so I know what I'm holding, the voice of the mother or the voice of the womb, the heartbeat, and the earth. And she also passed down that the drum strokes were connected to the elements of earth, fire, air, and water, which is passed down from Hamza El-Din. He's a Nubian musician, singer. And so all her students have taken, that same idea to help us remember that we are made of all the elements. And so really the drum is like my tool of remembrance to remember that everything is sacred, and to be in reverence and to say thank you by offering songs and offering rhythms. And so when I teach, I always bring that element in to my students as well. So, for me, Lane was someone that reclaimed the instrument as a sacred tool to reconnect to nature and have reverence to all of life. And so that's kind of where my angles, comes in. And so all my music is always offerings and remembering what it is that I'm holding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I know
yeah.
that was a lot.
Yeah, I think you made many experiences also. And we have prepared one more video, or yeah, you suggested or sent us a link, and we wanted also to share this kind of ceremony in a church.
Okay, yeah.
And so maybe you can tell a little bit what it was exactly, or what
Yeah.
yes, because it's very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, over the years I developed a community, and one of the rhythms we walk and drum ones is a very basic ones that everyone can easily join in, and that we can all commune together. And then also in the singing, people can do call and response singing. It's easier to entrain together. So in 2017, my mother had passed away, and so I wanted. It felt appropriate to bring the drum which is used for rite of passage, and one of this is for the funeral and memorial. And so my students last minutes came to the church so that we can just honor my mom through the drum and a procession, Lane was really big on doing processions, and so I wanted to offer that to my mom and to my family and community. So they all came to the church, and we gathered, and then we got to go down. It's for my mom's memorial and funeral, and so yes, thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just an example of community and again using the drum to for the cycles, honoring the cycles of life.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. And so your mother passed away,
Hmm.
and so she had also relationship to your music, or
Oh, yeah, she loved my music and was very proud of me for, and yeah, I would drum for her often, or also guitar. So she likes all kinds, all kinds of music. She even came to one of my workshops one time, and she said, "You're a good teacher."
beautiful,
Yeah,
very lovely. Nah,
yeah.
yeah. Hmm. And you also already talked about your relation to Lane Redmond, that she was your main teacher, I think. And so, what was the most important thing you learned from her? Because unfortunately, I could not meet her. She passed away too early.
Yeah.
We were in contact. We had a phone call, talking a little bit, and also we planned to invite her to Freiburg, to Tamburi Mundi, but it was unfortunately too late.
Oh.
And so, yeah, maybe you're, if you want to talk a little bit.
Um, yeah. Yeah, Lane, yeah, her work just changed my life and changed many people's lives. And, as we know, Glenn Velez, he's the legendary Glenn Velez was the father of the modern frame drum movement. And Lane Redmond was his first student, a long-term student. They worked together, they recorded together, performed together. And, so I consider her like the modern frame the mother of modern frame drumming, because she's inspired me and thousands of people to drum, and she continues to do that through her book and through her material, and and she keeps getting more students, and so I'm one of the most important things I learned from her was to have for others to have access to the drum and the and especially women. She, one of her things was to she encouraged everyone to teach. She goes, that way it's more accessible to more people. This is before the internet, so she would say, teach. I didn't want to teach. I didn't want to teach, but she kept nudging me. And then finally I was, started teaching. So now what happens is now her students now teach, then our students also teach. So she has a lineage. So it was very important for her to make everything accessible, um, and her encouraging for people to teach was really a beautiful thing to offer. Even she said, even the beginners, you should teach, just teach what you know. So because of that, there's more drummers in the world because of Lane. And so I follow in the same, I have students also that teach. And um, and she also, inspired me to find other women teachers and players, because back in the 90s, I couldn't find any where we live. And then once the internet started going on, I was like, where are all the women? So I started the women frame drumming group. And she said, that's the second most important thing to the book, so that all the women can find each other. And so now the group is dedicated to her. So I made that like in 2009 or something. And so her encouragement of people to teach and to be visible. And so I continue to help the women be visible by just creating a platform, an online platform for the women called Women Frame Drumming. And now it's dedicated to Lane in her remembrance. Um, and then what other thing that inspired me is that she just paved her own way, and did everything that she was called to do. So she didn't limit herself to one genre of music. She just followed her path with purpose and lived her life with purpose. And because she was like good friends with death, with her health issues, so she made sure that, oh, if I'm going to meet this person, then what are we supposed to meet for, and make it purposeful and meaningful. So that was the other thing that was really inspiring by her. So she was always working to get her projects done, and she made so many projects. And so she continues to be, my teacher and muse even until now.
Yeah, yeah. And you have a composition that is dedicated to her, right?
Oh, well, they're all spontaneous.
All spontaneous. Okay.
Yeah, I mean the vocalizing is the rhythm is from something that she's taught. Yeah, sometimes
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
create something from one of her rhythms that she's taught, and then sing spontaneously.
This is yeah, yeah. Maybe we can listen to our last music.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh. Doom the tech, doom tech, doom the. Oh, that's a different one. There was the one I sent was a tambourine. It had tambourine in it.
Okay. So that was the link that you sent us.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh well.
So if you want, you can send us the other link now, if it's possible.
Yeah.
Because
The one that I
it was
thought I
and
sent was a tambourine piece. So because it's, she teach my first lesson with her is from the tambourine.
okay, yeah, yeah. Oh,
And
yes, we have time.
okay. Oh, here I found it.
So you send it
Which way to send through
to Uli,
the chat or through the chat? Oh, there's not.
or we can share in the chat. Yes, you can post in the chat. Okay.
Okay. There we go. Sorry about that.
Şimdi ben açıyorum chatten. Okay, yeah, I have it. Yes. So I just prepare and wow. Okay, this is a different video. Okay, right.
It's with a simple rhythm on the tambourine.
Okay, so I will share the video and you can watch it. And here you go.
Oh, yes.
I think there is no sound.
Oh.
Moment.
Oh, I heard it.
Okay, I think we have the problem is here, not in your video.
Oh, I see.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, but we will solve it. Malika, by the way, is here. My daughter. She plays also drums.
Yes, I saw. Oh, it was so touching to see you all play. I was like, wow, it was amazing. And
And she's helping here in our channel. And I think she prepared the video now.
okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And yeah, so maybe you can just talk a little bit about your next projects or your next ideas, what we
Sure.
will do in next time or in the future, if you have any special ideas, something.
Yeah. So with the tambourine, um, I will have available soon a 6 week series that's also dedicated to Lane on the tambourine. It'll be 6 weeks worth of material plus 45 plus supplemental videos. Um, and it will be like divided with the elements so that we focus on each element and the strokes. Um, and then also, um, yeah, on the website, it's the Teachable Frame Drum portal. Will have other offerings there for tutorials and classes and learning chants, circle songs.
Mhm.
So people can, if they're interested in drumming and singing, so the weaving and the singing, they can go to that um, over there. I can send the links later. And then every year I celebrate Lane's birthday. It's coming up August 19th, where I just invite just the whole social media to share their story of um, if they were touched by Lane or inspired by her, to share their story of how they met her or how they were inspired by her and or how their life has changed, so that there's stories being created for Lane's birthday. And so we have a YouTube channel that collects the stories now because you know the history is the frame drum history is unfolding, but it's not being written down. But if we have videos, it's kind of documenting. And so I thought it's a nice gift for Lane to hear from the students around the world, those that have studied with her and those that have not yet met her but are studying her material or studying with her teachers. And so um, those are the
Mhm.
main things that's upcoming.
Yeah, and you are teaching or you're offering also online teaching?
Um, yeah, right now I have through the platform um, Frame Drum Circle Song Portal.
Mhm.
I don't have anything live at the moment. I think, well, August I might have something, a 6 week series with the College of the Melissa.
Wow.
They're a beekeeping, sacred beekeeping college. Because Lane inspired all of us to love the bees. Because the ancient women frame drummers, they were called the Melissas or Deborahs, which means bee. They were considered bee priestesses. So then she piqued all of our curiosities to love the bees. So there's a connection to the bees and the drum as well. And so
Yeah.
August.
August. Okay. Miranda, thank you a lot, and I hope we one day maybe we can meet again. Maybe
Yes.
you can come to Freiburg again once more. Now this year we are starting slowly with the first workshops, with the first classes again after
Great.
2 years of more focusing on online sessions. So maybe in the future, it,
Yeah.
who knows, we would be happy to see you here.
Was a nice seed planted.
Yes.
Great. Thank you so much for inviting me. It was a joy to see you again. And until next time, thank you. Blessings.
Yeah. Okay, we say bye bye from here. Yes, and we continue in 2 or 3 minutes with a composition that I wanted to present today for you. And so, see you. Hello again. We continue with a small composition that I wanted to present to you. I have the scores here just in case. And right, so that's a composition in 6/8, and we can share here together. Right, and here you can see I wrote it in first line. Tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. 1, 2, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. Tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. So here you can see this is a pattern that is the main pattern. Tak dum taka taka dum. It's in 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is repeated 3 times. It's like TI, and then we have a break, and then again tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. 1, 2, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. And here is the finishing. Okay, I think I can, or we can play if you have a drum, or you can sing along, speak along. So I will speak the composition first. Tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. Tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. Tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. Tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. Tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. Tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. Tak dum taka taka dum, taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. Tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. And now we play it on a drum. If you have no drum, you can just speak along or clap as you wish. And so here's the short explanation. Tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. So this is the main pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. Okay. And so we can play a little faster if you want. Tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. And tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. Tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. Tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. 2, 3. Tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. Tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. Tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum, tak dum taka taka dum. Right, so. And of course, you can use, instead of tak dum, taka taka dum, you can use different fingerings or different combinations. I can show you, for example, instead of taka taka dum, we can make a doubling, right? Tak, doom, taka 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 doom, tak, doom, taka 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 doom, and tak, doom, tak, doom, taka 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 doom. Also, what I do is we have different dooms inside this composition. I mean, this is really a small phrase, let me say. But even here, we can say, okay, we have a tak doom, taka taka doom, tak doom, taka taka doom. You can say we have two different dooms. One is the tak doom, the other taka taka doom. So we can pronounce these dooms in different ways. The first we can use, for example, the middle finger. So we have a full sound of doom, right? And for the other, for example, to have a different sound, I use the index finger, right? So. I think you can hear the difference. So when I have this regular stroke with the eighth, I have this strong doom that is more round and full, and more dark also. And taka taka, here I have this more brighter doom with this higher sound, right? And combine this. The very last doom, I make again a darker doom combined with a kind of snap. Yeah. Also, when I learn compositions by heart, I always speak the syllables, speak the rhythm, and I also try to pronounce the different dooms. Tak doom, taka taka do, tak do, do 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 do, so that I have already the melody in my voice, right? So that's much more easier to play, and this helps you also playing and otherwise also listening the melody, and gives you new ideas. And also the whole music gets more melodical, and it's not only a question of tak and doom, it's different dooms. And so, as I said, try to use this also in your voice. Tak doom, taka taka do, ta do, taka taka do, ta do, right? Because this tak, this has longer space, and has a different role, different function than this. Yeah, so be conscious of which doom you use in your music, because some dooms, when I use this doom, this is more closer to the tak, connected to the tak. So from the melody, it's more, and this is more the like ending doom, or like a longer doom. Okay, here we go. Ta doom, taka taka do, ta do, taka taka do, ta do, taka taka do, tak, taka taka. We can do the opposite. Da do taka taka do. Okay. Da do taka taka do. Da do taka taka do. Da do taka taka do. You see the melody is changing. So I cannot say that melody is better than the other. It's different, and then you can choose which is more your melody, or which melody you prefer more. Also, I use sometimes a thumb. Okay, and for the breaks, for the pause, we can use pa pa, tak doom, taka taka doom, 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 tak doom, taka taka doom. Yes, so I prepared the next small mini composition. It's more or less the same form, but there's a little change. So it's again 5 5 5, right? And this here, the 5 is pa doom doom do pa doom. So this is the pa doom 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 pa doom pa doom 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 pa doom pa doom doom do pa doom pa doom doom do pa doom pa doom 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 pa doom pa doom doom do 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 pa doom. Here's the final one here, right? Pa doom 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 pa doom pa doom 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 pa doom pa doom doom do 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 pa doom. Right, okay, here we go again. Right, so pa doom doom do pa doom pa doom 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 pa doom pa doom doom do pa doom pa doom 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 pa doom. That's the final doom. Again, and pa doom 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 pa doom 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 pa doom 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 pa doom. 3 and pa need a little tuning because the air here is quite humid. Yeah. Okay. I think the composition is clear, right? Okay, so if there is no question, we can continue with the next one. Again, a 6/8. Today we have many 6/8s. We started already with our Algerian friend and with Philip, with this Algerian 6/8. But this has nothing to do with the Algerian 6/8. Okay, and okay, so this is 6/4 or 6/8. It's can be also played as 2/4. Doom taka taka doom pa 1 2 tatake doom taka doom pa 1 2 doom taka doom pa 1 2 tatake doom taka doom pa 1 2 doom taka doom pa 1 2 doom taka doom pa 1 2 tatake doom 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 tatake doom 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 tatake doom doom tatake doom is the final. So we do only the first, the A, letter A, later we do letter B. So let me just explain the idea here. So the main idea, the main phrase is doom taka doom pa. So this is inspired from the Yuluk Semai, from the Turkish or Arabic rhythm. Yes, but I use this with a longer break. Doom taka doom pa 1 2, right? So it's longer than a 6. It's a 7. So, but as I said, this is inspired by the 6. So this phrase comes here, dum taka dum pa 1 2, and then we have tatake 2 times. Tatake and then again dum taka dum pa 1 2, but now repeated dum taka dum pa 1 2, and then again tatake, but also this is repeated tatake. So 4 times tatake. And then again the 6/8, or that is a 7, but this time 3 times. Dum taka dum pa, dum taka dum pa, dum taka dum pa, and then again tatake, but now this is a complete different phrase. Dum 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 dum. So 4 times doom, and then again tatake doom doom doom. 3 times tatake doom doom, tatake doom. So the doom, the final, is only 1 doom. So here this phrase is important. Tatake 1 2 3 4. Tatake 1 2 3. Tatake 1 2. Tatake 1. Okay, so this is the idea of the piece. So to memorize it, once again, I will speak with you, and then we can play with the drum. Doom taka doom pa. Tatake doom taka doom pa. Doom taka doom pa. Tatake doom taka doom pa. Doom taka doom pa. Third time doom taka doom pa. And tatake 1 2 3 4. Tatake 1 2 3. Tatake 1 2. Tatake 1. Okay. Okay, so try to memorize to keep the structure. I will do in a very slow tempo. And boom taka taka boom pa on two ta take boom taka taka boom pa again boom taka taka boom pa and ta take boom taka taka boom pa again boom taka taka boom pa again boom taka taka boom pa and tatake tatake 1 2 3 4 tatake tatake 1 2 3 tatake tatake 1 2 tatake tatake boom and boom taka taka boom pa tatake tatake boom taka taka boom pa boom taka taka boom pa tatake 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 boom taka taka boom pa boom taka taka boom pa boom taka taka boom pa tatake tatake 1 2 3 4 tatake tatake 1 2 3 tatake tatake 1 2 tatake tatake 1 2 and boom taka taka boom pa tatake tatake boom taka taka boom pa boom taka taka boom pa tatake 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 boom pa boom taka taka boom pa boom taka taka boom pa 1 2 tatake tatake 1 2 3 4 tatake tatake 1 2 3 tatake tatake 1 2 tatake tatake 1 2 3 and boom taka taka boom pa tatake tatake boom taka taka boom pa 1 2 boom taka taka boom pa 1 2 tatake 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 boom taka taka boom pa boom taka taka boom pa 1 2 boom taka taka boom pa 1 2 tatake tatake 1 2 3 4 tatake tatake 1 2 3 tatake tatake 1 2 tatake tatake boom. Right, so that, as I said, the composition itself is technically not so not a big problem. I think the structure is also quite simple. So what I do very often is I use the melody of the composition and I combine it with different rhythms. I speak over this groove. 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 dum taka taka dum ta take di dum taka taka dum pa dum taka taka dum pa take di dum taka taka dum pa dum taka taka dum ta dum taka taka dum pa take di dum 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 take di dum 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 take di dum dum take di dum. And here's the common one where we finish the rhythm. So that's on one side it's a exercise that I very often do for myself. On the other side it's a musical composition that you can use for 2 frame drums. Taka taka dum ta take di dum taka taka dum ta dum taka taka dum ta take di dum taka taka dum ta dum taka taka dum ta dum taka taka dum ta take di dum 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 take di dum 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 take di dum dum take di dum dum taka taka dum ta take di dum taka taka dum ta dum taka taka dum ta take di dum taka taka dum ta dum taka taka dum ta dum taka taka dum ta take di dum 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 take di dum 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 take di dum dum take di dum. Right, so as I said, you can play it with 2 drums and can be a basic main pattern. And so I compose very often small patterns or composition, and from these I go to other possibilities to use the drum and sing the melody, or to play with two different drums. And so you can develop with one small idea many musical things. You can use different dooms. Or right, so, or instead of pa, you can use a snap. Or that, or tak, whatever. So you can use the form and play different sounds on it. Yes, so it's a small idea for you if you want to try out. And yes, I think it's time to, if you have questions, you can ask me. So if not, I will use the time. We have a few minutes until we continue with our next guest, John Arnold. He will come in a few minutes, right? So I would like to announce our event that is every summer, Tamburi Mundi Festival. I see it's the 17th edition. Wow. We started 17 years ago, and still we continue in August, in end of July, August. And this year we have online classes, especially for you who maybe live far away from Freiburg and who have no time to travel. We have online classes on 30th and 31st of July. We have guest Zohar Fresco, who is our teacher this year for online, and he's from Israel, and so he will give a intermediate advanced workshop. And so he was already several times here in Freiburg also, but maybe next year, hopefully he can come again. Maria Bovin de l'Abbé, she will also give a workshop, and Dave Boyd, Isabel Martin from Spain, Francesco Magaro is again with us this year online, and Tuba Gülyeşil also from Istanbul, and probably you know her. She was also here in our channel on Tamburi Monday. She will give a lessons about Turkish music. And we have also face-to-face classes. So if you decide to come to Freiburg, why not? Freiburg is a beautiful city. From 4th until 7th of August, it's written already here. We have live workshops, intensive courses with Glenn Velez from New York, Andrea Piccioni from Roma, Italy, and Philip Kurske. You saw him here also. He was in our channel, our guest. So take the chance, come to Freiburg. We have really nice program. Also, our workshops in the afternoon. We have a guest from Turkey, Berkan Çakıcı. He will show us new techniques that he invented and freehand style. Mehmet Akatay, the big master for Turkish percussion, especially for Rick, he will give us workshops. Emanuela Ladato, she was also here several times. She will perform also. By the way, every musician will perform in concerts, and Emanuela will give workshops for Italian drumming and singing, right? Perfect. And also Loire Kotler, by the way, also from New York, she will give a workshop. Sabine Bunchu also. So we have a colorful program in these 4 days, 4, 5, 6, 7 here in Freiburg, and 29, 30th of July and 31st of July online, just for you to know. And of course, if you say you have no time to come to Freiburg, and if you say, oh, you like music, you like frame drum music, you like percussion music or whatever, so you can join our concerts also. Like we have concert streams. Every evening we have a concert. You can see the program also here. You can go to our website. And so this is also an opportunity for you. The streams are daily. They are for free, so you just can join the our channel, and you can see what is happening here with all the musicians that are creating music, new music, also for the festival. And so just check our website or go to our Facebook site. Okay, so I think if you have no questions, we make a short break and to invite our next guest. See you. Ben bıraktım hiç. Hello.
Hey,
Hello, hello.
what's up?
Ah.
You all right?
Hi, John.
How are you doing?
Thank you. Fine.
So I have with me one of our, yeah, how you doing? I have one.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna operate from here, but my colleague, um, Wax is his name. He's going to do any physical demos. We're gonna ask him to sit in my seat and just do the demos. But we can have the conversation and
Yes,
certainly, yeah.
we can start. Welcome to our channel, John. Nice to see you.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I was watching all evening. I saw more. I saw the guy from Algeria, and I saw Miranda,
Miranda.
who I know from watching frame drums. So I know I'm pretty all right. You know. So it
Yeah.
was nice. And then I saw the wonderful class workshop you just did. Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Also, we would like to thank you also before we start. Thank you that you took your time to join us and
Yes, yes, yes.
to speak with us, to introduce
Correct.
maybe for many people, maybe something that is not so known. I think it's
No,
very
correct.
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So
So
first of
little-
all, you are living, where are you living?
Right. So I am from Trinidad and Tobago. So I live in the smaller island, which is culturally different to the bigger island, Trinidad. So we are the last pair of islands at the bottom of the Caribbean chain. So we are next to Venezuela, and we are right at the bottom. We're the last set of islands in the whole Caribbean chain.
Yeah, and you are a musician, but you are not a drummer, right?
Right. So I'm a musician, but I work with drummers. Yeah, I work a lot with drummers. Djembe, conga, you name it. Because, you know, if the percussion isn't right, the music isn't right.
Yeah. So you are, but you are a pianist, right? Jazz pianist.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so it was for us because you know we are a team here,
Right.
and we are yes, we are looking all over the world what is happening around frame drums.
Yes,
People
yes.
write us and they say, "Oh, you should check this. You should check this." And so I think
No, I'm excited about being part of this, actually.
yeah, you had
And I
contact
was
with
telling my
me.
colleague, I hope next year for the real festival, you all invite us and we bring the whole band, you know? So,
Wow. Yeah. So maybe yes, so where can we start? Maybe you can start a little bit about the history of the drum because
yeah. Just
it's a
whatever you
frame
want to
drum.
start, we'll talk about it. Yeah?
It's a frame drum, right?
Yes, the frame drum. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And maybe we can listen to one music before.
Yes,
Yes.
maybe we can do that. Yeah.
Great.
Nice. Thank you, thank you. So what you saw there is actually an experiment that we only tried last week, Monday. And what we actually did was the tambourine band, which was the three guys with the three frame drums like this, right? And these drums are actually played at three different tonal levels. One is a bass-like sound called the boom. One is like a side drum. It's called the roller. And then we have the one on the top, which is the snare. It's called the cutter. So these three, the boom, the roller, and the cutter, they play together. And that, along with a violin or fiddle and a triangle, completes what we call, and that's the unique thing, it's called a tambourine band. And it's actually called Tobago Tambourine Band because we are from Tobago. And this is where the instrument was born several years ago. And as an instrument, it's used for funerals, weddings. It's used to accompany all the folk dances, jig, reel, passe, heel and toe, you name it, brushback. But what's even more important is that all this is part of our colonial history, as you know. Having been, we changed hands something like 33 times between the French, Dutch, English, right? So there's some strong legacy there, even the way the places that are named. And so we take our history pretty strong. And the instrument, all right, is actually made from a bark, right? A bark of a tree, which we call wild cassava. And this wild cassava, I will let Wax tell you about how they strip it, dry it, and they put it together. And after that, they curve it, and then they put the animal skin onto it. But of course, in modern times, we've moved from bark, and some people have innovated to use what we call like PVC pipes. They cut them out in rims, right? And now the development of the instrument is what we want to talk about, because we still heat the instruments with fire. We still have to do that because there's no tuning mechanism on the instrument, right? They have to knock. So we still use fire. And in the case where we have to travel, we use lights, theater lights. And we actually hook the theater lights and we heat the drums. So really, the issue why I have taken the liberty is over the last 2-3 years, we have now decided that, hey, we want to move this instrument from just being known as a folk instrument. So now that's why the album I did was called Jazz Standards in the Tambourine Source. And what I did on that album was to take a tune in 5/4, take 5. We took one in 3/4, which was bluesette, and then we took a regular 4/4. We also did a bossa nova, right? Again, trying to get the instrument to start talking in the other kinds of rhythmic language, all right? So the attempt has worked so far. We have done 2 concerts. The recording you just heard, or the video you just saw, we call it tambourine meets the tabla. So we actually had a wedding. So there was a wedding in Tobago last week, and that wedding was what you just saw, the tabla for the very first time playing together with the tambourine.
Yeah, yes.
So that's what you just saw there. So that's why in a program like what you have, we're really, really, really excited about this. So I don't know what we can do, Murat, is that I would ask Wax to tell you how they play this one, because this is only one of them. We have two here. We have a cutter and we have a roller. We don't have a boom today, but once you get the idea of what he does, he can demonstrate to you. Is that okay?
Perfect.
Right. So Wax.
Right, pleasant good evening.
Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome.
I enjoy the conversation.
Yes. How are you? What is your name? Sorry.
I am Lawrence Crooks Wax.
What?
You have that? Wax.
What?
Right. What will happen basically is that I'm going to demonstrate the cutter. The cutter in the tambourine band is the one that bring all the rhythmic shots, just like what you were doing there a while ago. So the boom keep the basic timing. The boom. The roller accompanies the boom by playing the little loops, because the cutter.
We cannot see the drum. Can you check? Ah, yes. No.
Right. Yeah. So here we are. The boom. The roller. And the cutter. Then the violin or the fiddle will carry the melody. You know, and it more or less more Asian time music, but now and again you fit something modern into it. You know, as have it well appreciated by the masses. Because at times when you do things that people not too knowledgeable about, they tend not to buy into it. Yeah. So when you bring something that is hot on the market, they say, So that is basically it. And as Mr. Arnold said, we will try our endeavor to be part of this next year. God's spare life. So then back to Mr. Arnold.
One question, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Murat. Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask your friend.
Yeah.
So first of all, thank you for the demonstration.
Thanks.
Just one question maybe. So how he learned or where he learned this playing this tradition?
See, what's Oh, how we learned it.
Oh, well, basically, what had happened? These were born simply because in the slave times, the big djembes were hard to hide. So they take it into consideration and make the drum a little smaller so that it is easier to hide, because anytime the slave master realizes things going on, licks will pass. And in so doing, this, as Mr. Anna said, was born out of Tobago. You don't hear tambourine no other part of the world, you know, unless it is pre-recorded or Tobagonians there having a show live. And it passed from the old folks as things evolve and the interest by young ones we fall in and trying our best to keep it alive.
So Murat, you asked a very important question. Your question was about how this is learned. So the point he made is that it is passed down from one generation to the other. However, one of the reasons why we are paying particular attention to this instrument now is because a number of the persons who play it, they are dying out. And because they are dying out, we are now making the kinds of programs to do the kind of workshops to allow young persons to now get an influence with that. Now, to do that, obviously we have to take the instrument now and expose it to many other styles of music, because not everybody, especially the young people, will be following the folk, right? The folklore. We now have hip hop, we have all kinds of stuff, reggae, dancehall, we have rock jazz, we have all kinds of fusions. And so the idea to make this instrument continuously now is about building capacity. And to do that, we have to obviously expose it, raise the awareness, raise the visibility of it, right? So you can see it. And then finally, to arrange those kinds of workshops, to have young people come and play. So next year, we're actually having the very first Tambourine Festival. And note it's not tambourine, but tambourine, which is a derivative of that word, right? And that first Tambourine Festival, we are hoping to have workshops from now right up until then, encouraging young people to make drums, learn how to play the drums, and then go through the pedagogy of what hand to use, whether it's fingers, the palm of your hand. We're going to be doing all of that.
Yeah. So and are you also teaching?
Yes, we do try.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's actually, he plays all the drums and he also plays the fiddle.
Yes.
Right? So he's like our number one fiddler on the island. And now we have to look at training more fiddlers. All right? Because we need many more to keep the tradition alive. But even more than that, I watch what you're doing. Drums like the udu, all those drums became popular now in popular music. All of them. But that didn't just happen like that, Something happened by using the drums in other forms of music. Even steel drums. Steel drums were made in Trinidad and Tobago. This is where they started. Yeah. And you recall when Earth, Wind and Fire did the first steel band solo, then the steel band became almost regular in pop music, And that's what I'm trying to do here. So on that album, which the album Kaiso Jazz Standards in the Tambourine Source, the tambourine is featured big time, because even though you're hearing Take 5, you will hear when the tambourine is soloing, right? And by doing that, other people will say, well, you know what? This is an interesting thing. This instrument plays like that. And now, beyond that, Murat, is that we need to now talk about how we collaborate with people like you and many of the others who are now going beyond the 4/4 and experimenting and, working the 6/8s and the 5/4s and really, really making the thing interesting. And that is the kind of collaboration I would like to see, because we haven't explored this fully yet. We still have work to do, but in the meantime, we want the world to know this frame drum exists. It's been here for a while, but a lot of people don't know that, So as Trinidad and Tobago, and we are in the smaller island, the population here is just about 58 to 60,000 persons.
Wow.
It's a small island.
Very small island. Yeah.
Yes, 116 square miles. But we have everything. I mean, it's like a real tourist paradise. We have great history, great culture, great dances, great music, great everything. And we're very strong on preserving our culture. But Trinidad is also really powerful also as our bigger sister. It's we're like 1.2, right? In Trinidad. And Trinidad also has a culture that's a little different because it is half Indo and half African, and then we have other ethnic compositions like Syrians and Chinese and so on. So basically, the two forms of cultures that are rich in Trinidad and Tobago are Afro and Indo. And that's why that tabla meets the tambourine was so important. Because we're really talking about this is we, this is us, this is how we are, in Trinidad and Tobago. We live together in unity, and the instruments, the music, as you know, is the biggest symbol for unity. You know that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And so you mentioned that this instrument is a traditional instrument, and so are there typical rhythms that you use?
Yes.
People...
Yes. So I'm going to just do the boom. Let him do the cutter. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So
sorry,
that's a typical what we call the jig. Sorry, the typical jig. Sorry for that. Jig. The reel is faster, right? So Watson's the teacher here. So that's a reel which is faster, and it has several dances to that. The only problem we have today is I'm using the roller instead of the boom. The boom has a much deeper sound, right? This is still a higher sound than the other one, right? Right? This is kind of, and then we have the heated. I have to tell you a little story, Murat.
Maybe we can look at this short video.
Yes,
that you sent us.
Yes,
because you send us a very nice link. We can
the video,
share together.
And he's playing, well, I know which one he's playing today, maybe the boom. That is
Kind of thing?
No, the lambsters have on stage like
Right.
carnival time.
Uh-huh.
Some not push 500, some not push 1,000.
Okay,
So
okay.
plug in and put. Simply because sometimes whichever you can use,
Open
you
flame.
can open fire.
Correct. So while you do that, you have to keep spinning your hand because I guess what he
we also have runners.
okay.
Runners meaning as they're playing, somebody is heating.
Oh,
Runners.
wow. We have
So they
made
rotate.
rotate
Yeah,
instruments.
They rotate instruments.
How does that now affect the pitch? Like when you change the instrument from a runner?
Not, what has really happened is that the guy who does face the fire to do that,
Right.
he has full knowledge as
Right.
to how the roller should sound,
Right.
the cutter. Yeah. So when he hand you a drum,
Right. You know one thing.
you're
Ready.
to play.
Correct. So the bass. Oh,
It's better you call him what?
okay.
Because if you hold him,
Put it straight wax.
Yeah.
Okay. No problem, straight wax.
The mister does have me uncomfortable.
All right.
wax.
All right, wax.
So that's the process of how they. Yeah, so that's the process of heating the instruments. And what you saw there was the same meeting. It was all organic. No preparation, just met. Mayank, which is the Indo Talbalchi, he came and he saw how they heat the instrument. They use coconut branches. And your question would be, so when they're doing a performance, what happens? Yes, we have runners, meaning while two are playing, two drums are heating in the back. So ever so often, when a song finishes, they rotate and bring the heated drums out. So you always have a runner doing that. Yeah. That's interesting. But it does help with the tone. The tone becomes richer, brighter, and the sonority is much, much, much clearer once the drums are heated.
Mm-hmm. So you always, when you have concerts, or when you play, you have always a fire.
Yeah, we always have a fire outside. But we have traveled to Germany, we have traveled to Sweden, Norway,
Denmark.
Denmark. We have done all of those Scandinavian countries and Europe. And when we go, these are all tourism trips where we carry some of our authentic culture. And so when we go, we have to now walk with lamps, theater lamps, because we need to get the heat from those lamps. We can't light fire because the fire code in most countries, you can't just light a fire. So that's how that developed. So much so that now here, a lot of people still don't light fire, but there are tambouriners who will tell you the drum does not sound good unless you use real fire, the element.
The element.
Yeah. That's a little bit, belief. Yeah.
And so you said you came to Europe, to Scandinavia. You came to perform for concerts?
So what I'm saying is that over the years, on what you will call a tourism promotion trip, right? You will carry some of your authentic cultural performers. And their role when you go is to perform in a place where you're going to invite travel agents, airline representatives, destination management companies, and you give them a taste of what you have, and that makes out there what you're coming to get if you come here. But that still does not do what we're doing here. This is more powerful. You understand? Because this is where we're focusing on frame drums from across the globe. And so I am learning about Algeria and what they're doing. I'm learning all the new instruments right? Even those that you feature, and you learn about mine. Think about that. That's a great kind of world. And now that I know the channel, I'm going to be here every week, you know?
Yeah. Nice. Yes, yes, this is, I think for many people, it's something very surprising, maybe also your tradition.
Yes.
And I think probably you have more videos, right? I saw in internet.
Yeah, we have a few videos. I think I sent you one with the what might be nice is the video with the interaction between the tabla and the tambourine. I think you would hear the where it's only tabla and tambourine.
Okay, we will make
Yeah.
the next video. Yes, she's preparing.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for this.
One moment. Yes, we are just
Yeah. No, not a problem. Every year we have this festival called the Tobago Heritage Festival.
Okay.
And it starts always at the middle of July and ends on the 1st of August.
Oh, good to know. Heritage
Yes,
Festival.
and that festival runs like 2 weeks. We feature dance, song, instruments, rituals, everything. And it's when the tambourine is most popular in terms of the tambourine bands. So right now, for example, he is going to a rehearsal for what is called the old time wedding, the way they used to dance with the tambourine. And they had special dances like the brush back, right? And that brush back, some steps forward, some steps backward, you know? And there's a special rhythm for that, right? There's also the heel and toe, where there's an interplay between the heel and the toe, and that has a rhythm also, right? So, I mean, it's a lot, but really and truly, as I said to you, what's important is raising the awareness of the tambourine drum, and that I've made my duty to do that, and you know, as many frame drum festivals as we can go, we would love to do that.
Great.
Yours is number one.
Yeah, thank you. And you also you will play and you will perform in a jazz festival, is it?
Yeah. So in jazz festivals, yes, we run an annual jazz festival called the Tobago Jazz Experience. So I administrate a lot on that, but I've also played at it also. And I do. I have some personal jazz albums, but beyond that, the last album is the one that focuses on the tambourine. So I have featured the tambourine in the jazz, yes.
Yeah, and the last this last production is available from your website or from your Facebook?
Yeah, definitely. It's on YouTube. It's on CD Baby. It's on iTunes. It's on Spotify. Yeah. All the available places you can get it.
Great.
Just look for jazz standards in the tambourine source.
Okay.
Right?
Great.
Yeah.
Great. So I think now we prepared the video.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see which one. Ready? One. Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. That was nice. Because yeah, that's blueset. I'm sure you know blueset.
Yes.
That's blueset with the tambourine accompanying it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's going to be. We have a big concert this Friday in Trinidad. Again, the concert is called the Tambourine Jazz Project, and we're now developing a new kind of jazz using the tambourine.
Yeah.
Right. So that's happening on Friday. Wax, myself, and the whole 13. Yeah, it's about 10 of us in the orchestra. Yeah. So it's going to be good. Yeah, it's going to be nice. Yeah.
And you mentioned that that their culture in Trinidad and Tobago is different. You mentioned, but do they also are they interested in these tambourines, or what is the situation?
Oh, you mean the frame drum?
The frame drum, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, you remember so Trinidad has an instrument called tassa, which is an Indo instrument. It's not a frame drum. They also have one called dolak, right? Which is played with two hands. But that's, yes, correct. So we have those two that are what we will call indigenous Indian instruments. Then, of course, we have the normal African instruments, the djembe, and all the other derivatives around the djembe, right? But for Tobago, this drum is what is special. So you won't find tambourine bands in Trinidad. You will only find tambourine bands in Tobago, because that is what makes it unique. It's a Tobago thing, right? Now, by popularizing the drum and making it more aware, certainly other people will start to now create tambourine bands in the region, in the Caribbean, all over the world.
Yeah.
And that would be great.
Of course, because these drums, they have so they are so small, you can travel so easily.
Correct.
It's much more practical, and
Correct.
also you can move, you can dance with the drums.
Correct.
Very
Correct.
yes. So
Yeah.
I'm very
This was
happy
nice.
that-
This was nice. I really want to thank you for having us today, man. This was coming to shot. Yeah, this was really, really, really powerful. And
also.
huh?
And, yeah, so we will present here our small
Yeah,
program.
this is Ulrich.
Yes,
This-
it's me.
Who's Ulrich?
It's me.
Ah, yeah. We're talking.
Yes, hi John. Hi.
Hi, and that's Yaska.
That is
Malika
this is
Oh.
our daughter.
is our daughter.
Ah, okay, right. Nice to meet all of you. Really, really, really nice. And as I said, Murat, anytime, and next year, I would really like to have a whole full tambourine band come to your festival. If you're having it live, are you going live next year?
Yeah, I hope. Yes, we are. I mean, at the moment, this year we have live. I hope next year again.
Right.
Yes.
Good. So, I mean, it's something we can look forward to. Get a good invitation letter from you, and we will certainly come.
Thank you, John.
All right.
And so have a good day. We wish you good luck for all your projects and also for your festival. All the best.
Yeah,
And
man.
we
Thanks
stay
a
in
lot.
touch. We stay in contact. If you have any
Yeah,
news,
for
you
sure.
can
Yeah.
send us.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. And I'm looking forward to being in touch with you again. All
Thank
right.
you. Okay.
Cheers.
Have a good day. Bye bye.
Bad? Oh, I'm missing. That was more than bad, boy. That was awesome.